Alright, real quick guys, I'm just going to show you how I set my pots up when I start a new grow. So I just started germinating my seeds. I'll post about that. That's pretty straightforward. But how I set my pots up, may be different than some people do. So first of all, Happy Frog is usually what I use, just straight up Happy Frog. My local place was out, so I had a big bag left, but not enough. I also got some Ocean's Forest, which, it's pretty similar. It works really well too. Most people say it's a little hot for, seedlings and the early veg. So what I did was I did half and half. I did, Ocean's Forest on the bottom half, and then the Happy Frog, on the top half. That way the seedling will being a happy frog, and as it gets older and is able to take, the extra nutrients, etc., from the Ocean's Forest, it'll be at the bottom half, which will also extend it out, an extra, week or two that I won't theoretically have to give it nutrients. So I'm using 5-gallon pots. So what I like to do, because I had a pH issue with the bag of my soil before, is I'll use Dolomite Lime. So this is really good for maintaining the pH. Most of the soil is supposed to have it in there, but as an extra precaution, I add it. So basically every quarter of a pot, I'll fill it up with a quarter. I'll add maybe a half a handful. I don't really measure it. I just kind of take a half a handful, kind of sprinkle it in, do another half or a quarter layer, sprinkle it, do the third, 3/4 of a layer, sprinkle it, and then put the top on. And I don't put any on top. So do a quarter layer, Dolomite Lime, quarter layer Dolomite Lime, quarter layer Dolomite, and then fill the rest of the pot up. After that, what I like to do is I'll use my Mychorizzae. So you can use, I use Bigfoot. It's concentrated. I only have to use 1 teaspoon per gallon. You can use Recharge, Dino Myco, Mycos Extreme. I mean, there's a million of them. I just like to get that started ahead of time. That way, I got extra Mychorizzae. It's going to help do its thing. Both these soils come with, beneficial microbes, but I don't know how old they are, if they're even still alive, whatever. So I like to add my own, right from the get-go. I also will mix in bud candy. This particular stuff, if you use it, I wrote it here, it's 8 milliliters per gallon. So I'll mix that in my water, shake it up real good, and then I'll add my Mychorizzae. Basically, this is just sugar. You can use, molasses. You can use, basically anything that, plants can break down that's carbohydrates. I just use this. It's relatively cheap. You don't have to use a whole bunch. This 1-liter jug will last me, this entire grow easily. So take your water, mix your Mychorizzae and your bud candy. Bud candy, feed your microbes. Once you get your pot set up, I'll take, about a gallon and just go ahead with the Mychorizzae and bud candy and go ahead and, soak the soil real well. What this does, two things, is A, should get rid of, most of those air pockets that are in there. And then B, I don't have a light in here yet. I'm waiting for it to come tomorrow, but even if I did, I wouldn't have it on yet because I like to get my pot set up the same time I start germinating. That way, once my seeds are done germinating, these have been sitting in here kind of soaked. They'll start to dry out slowly and slowly, but when I put my seeds in here, once they're sprouted, they're still going to be wet, and I won't have to worry about watering it for, probably a week or so. You don't want to overwater when they're young, so this kind of makes it foolproof for me is, pre-soak it, let it kind of just do its thing. When I put my seedlings in, I'll do a video on that, but that's pretty much it. Just wanted to cover, basically what I do.